Hi, chat. Hey, everybody. Good evening. Hello. We are doing, the Mickey, well, his name's Sean Stines, but I think his nickname's Mickey. Mickey Stines preliminary hearing. If you guys don't remember, he is the Sheriff of Letcher County, Kentucky. Well, he was, but he is the Sheriff of Letcher County, Kentucky. Met with the judge, and very quick after the meeting, he started murdering the judge with his pistol. And yeah, very, 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 very weird. Very weird. Very weird about what happened here. Now, I will tell you, there is a preliminary hearing. We get to see the video of it going down, chat, just so you're aware. There's a lot to go over. There's a bunch of things. We are going to get into these. The first thing I will say and share with everybody is that Sheriff Stines has resigned as being sheriff of the county. So because it's an elected position, you got to send to the governor. So this came out today through his attorney, and the for the governor and the office of the general counsel, he says, "Dear Mr. Mayo, Sheriff Sean Mickey Stines probably served the people of Letcher County for 22 years. He became sheriff in 2018. He won election. He expresses his heartfelt appreciation for the love and support his community has given him during his time in service." Does that include murdering the judge? Mr. Stines made the difficult decision to effect his retirement as of September 30th, 2024. This decision is made not as a result of any ultimatum or in any way as a concession to any allegations made by the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Notice that as a lawyer, you have to think about these things. Like, okay, well, I'm resigning, but it's not at all having to do with the murder charges. And allow somebody to be able to serve his people. So, looks like the sheriff is out for now. Maybe gets to come back in at some point. We don't know. We will. With that said, though, chat, I can promise you one neat thing. There's camera footage, and we're going to get to see it. Sad Clown says, "Dear Mr. Hammond Swiss." Yes, Mr. Mayo's thing. Yes, Tia Nana's saying in case he wants to be rehired. Yes. Oh. Kimbo says he just now resigned? Well, yeah. I mean, Enrico Matas is saying this is the Justified episode. Pretty much. And the funny thing is, the county where this occurred, Letcher County, Kentucky, is right next to Harlan County, Kentucky. It's in the middle of coal country. It is in the middle of the holler. So this could have happened out there. Job well done says qualified immunity. I know. He said judge made a move. I had to do it. I had to do it. All right. Well, there's a bunch of people here. I'm going to give us another minute in case people try to catch up. Tonight, we are going to be doing also the vice presidential debate. We'll watch that. Should be interesting. Sleuthy Goosey, hi. How are you doing? It's been a little while. Hope you're well. Is there audio with the video? Any confrontation? Oh, you'll see. Don't you worry. We're going to get our fill. We'll get our fill. Toto Vader says, any hint as to motive? There is an interview. His attorney gave an interview to the press after the preliminary hearing, and we're going to take a look at that. This is who we are. Says, can Mickey Stines apply for the judge position? Yes. Is it true there was something going on with the daughter? We're going to find that out. Boss Hog went after the judge. Yeah. And Chris is saying, I'm from neighboring county. This is wild seeing you cover something from my area. Well, this is pretty wild. So I guess it's neat. Like, yeah, talking about where, all the stuff you might know about. And you're like, yeah, I drive by that. So Job well done says Maddie is live on Rumble, but you aren't. Yeah, because I don't like Rumble's been a lot of pain in the ass lately. I make sure getting up for Thursday's been enough work. Third Rail Fi. Hey Sean, how you doing, man? Hope you're doing well up there in Canada. And the amateur iconoclast gifted 5 subs. And with that, chat, here we go. Time for the prelim, which I'm sure is not going to be the end of this saga. Holy cow, boys. It's going to be interesting. But here we go. I wonder if he tried to say, Your Honor, I killed the judge, therefore I can't be tried. So here we go. Why is it not switching over? All right, there we go. All right, chat, here we are. Let's do this. Now, we are going to skip ahead. This is only an hour long, and there's just a lot of downtime. And we are going to get to about 18 minutes or so, and I think that's when everything happens here. Those 2 guys in the back are going to be courtroom security. Obviously, it's a very politically charged case. So there we go. Here comes the judge.
Morgan District Court's now in session with the Honorable Rupert Billoy.
Thank you, sir. You may be seated.
Rupert Billoy. Sounds very Kentucky.
I'm going to call the case of Commonwealth versus Sean Stines, 24F-147, on for preliminary hearing. Is the Commonwealth ready?
Yes, sir.
Is the defense ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, call your first witness.
Commonwealth's Clayton Stamper.
All right, click. Mr. Stamper, if you would. Raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir, I do.
Thank you. You may be seated.
You state your name correctly.
Clayton Stamper,
And how you spell your name?
ClaytonStamper.
Tell the court how you're employed.
I'm sorry.
How are you employed?
I'm a detective with the Kentucky State Police assigned to Post 13 Hazard.
How long have you been employed in that capacity?
I've been with KSP a little over 24 years, detective since 2006.
And have you, in the performance of duties as detective of the police, have you investigated the death of Kevin Mullins?
Yes, sir, I did.
And can you tell us on what date that was?
It was September 19th, 2024.
In investigation of that death, were you able to determine who killed Kevin Mullins?
Yes.
And how were you able to do that?
Video surveillance footage.
And did you retrieve that video surveillance footage?
I did.
You know, at this time, the company play video footage.
All right.
We're going to see it right away, chat. Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm going to check. Approach.
Yes, approach the bench.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of a break here. We're going to... It's an interesting courtroom layout where the judge is basically sitting at ground level. He's not really that much higher than anybody, but it's a very nice looking courtroom. Like, come on, let's get this going. We're just jerking around here. They're going to have an off chamber. Here we go. Here we go, chat. Okay, guys, really, I mean this. If you've never seen anybody get got, if you've never seen anyone get got, don't watch right now. You're gonna see somebody get got pretty quick. Just warning you. Just warning you. Here we go. Look at him. Just already dropped them. Now look at that. He's got his hand up like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold up, buddy. And Sheriff's like, I ain't holding up.
Is that a portion of the video?
Guys, that's likely the judge's family.
And were you able to identify the parties we saw in that video?
That was Sheriff Mickey Stines and Judge Kevin Mullins.
And we're gonna watch it again, chat. We'll go through all that. He gets there. I mean, he multiple rounds into this guy. So here you go. I am surprised we're watching this, but this is metal. Man, right at the end there, he gets underneath the table and just pop, pop, pop. It's like, wow. Wow. Yeah. So this would make a great death metal song. Oh. Yes, it's metal as fuck. Yes. But yeah, anyways, that's the judge's family likely crying in the background. They may not have seen that ever before. That's got to be a hard time seeing it in public like that.
Is that a portion of the video? Yes. And were you able to identify the parties we saw in that video?
That was Sheriff Mickey Stines and Judge Kevin Mullins.
And also, who had the firearm?
Sheriff Stines.
And then Judge was also in his black robe.
Yes.
Do you know what portion of the courthouse that is?
That is the judge's chambers
And where's that located at, physically located?
in the Letcher County Courthouse.
That's all I have you on.
Would you like to cross-examine the witness?
Now, guys, really, this is a very simple preliminary hearing. Is there enough probable cause to establish a crime was committed, and did Mickey Stines commit it? I mean, yeah. I mean, it doesn't take much. We've got a lot of proof here. But we'll get to yeah. Anyways, here we go. It's not defamation, I promise you. Yes. There are watermarks in compression, chat. That was a recording. That was not the original. I don't know what cross is going to be. This will be interesting.
It was played there. How long do you believe that clip was?
That we just watched.
Yes,
Just 10 seconds, 15 seconds.
15 seconds. In fact, the video that was taken in the judge's chambers between the meeting between Sheriff Stines and Judge Mullins, it's my understanding that video lasted much longer, correct?
Yes,
Okay. And have you had an opportunity to review the video
I have.
of the prior incident?
I have.
And can you describe for us what
There's a prior
happened
incident.
immediately
Ooh.
prior to the clip that we saw?
Sheriff Stines uses his telephone to make some phone calls. He then borrows Judge Mullins' cell phone and appears to make a call on that. And that led to what you just saw.
Okay.
Ooh,
So,
we saw something on the
It's my
phone.
understanding there were some people who were having a meeting with Judge Mullins prior to the sheriff's entry into the chambers. Is that correct?
Yes.
Have you identified those witnesses?
I don't know the names of them. There's about approximately 4 people in there. Then Sheriff Stines enters the judge's chambers and everybody else clears out.
You don't know their names?
Not right off, no.
Have you prepared a report?
In the process, yes.
You're in the process of preparing a report,
Yes, a lot of information.
but you've not spoken to any of those witnesses?
I've not directly, but they've all been interviewed. There's recorded interviews of those people in the case.
Okay, so
Mm.
other
Interesting.
officers have spoken with those 4 witnesses?
Yes.
And what is your understanding of what those 4 witnesses have said?
I don't recall.
You have no idea what they said?
Ooh.
No.
How do you not know what they said?
I want to make sure I understand. Had there been a hearing previously this day in chambers?
In the courtroom?
No, in chambers.
Not that I'm aware of.
And so there's a video camera that is running in the district judge's chambers. Is that on all the time?
It's my understanding, yes.
That's weird to
Have
have
you spoken
cameras
with
in there.
anyone about why that may be?
No. I mean, there's cameras throughout the courthouse.
Well, fair enough, but are you familiar with district judges' chambers normally, how they're set up?
No. I mean, some of them have video surveillance and some don't.
Right, but
This one does.
generally when they have surveillance, you agree with me that that is utilized when there is a proceeding going on in chambers, correct?
It could be, yes.
Okay. And I'm just asking, so this video didn't have an audio recording to it,
No.
correct?
There's no audio.
Outside of once the 4 people that were inside that we don't know their names, once these 4 people had left the chambers, were they in an area adjacent where they could hear anything that was going on?
Yes, I believe some of them did remain in the next room.
Okay. And what did they tell us?
Do I?
What did they hear?
I've not been part. I wasn't part of those interviews.
Okay, so if I'm understanding correctly, you're prepared for a preliminary hearing on a murder, and there are witnesses in an adjacent room.
I mean, they heard
Can I put
gunshots.
my question, please?
Yeah, please, that's the question.
Thank you, officer. So you are investigating a murder and testifying in a preliminary hearing, and there are witnesses who may have overheard what preceded this edited clip, yet you can't tell us today anything that they said?
I've not personally listened to those interviews. I've talked to the other officers that did those interviews.
Fair enough. And I mean, we're here at a preliminary hearing, as you know, that you can testify to hearsay. I'm asking you what they said.
They heard gunshots.
Okay. Was there any statements that they overheard?
No.
Were there raised voices?
There one person stated that she didn't recognize him as being Judge Mullins' voice, but heard somebody say, "Help, help."
Presumably that would be after the firearm was drawn or shot.
Objection, Your Honor.
I will draw, Judge.
Withdrawn.
Oh, so is there any testimony that you can give us today about any statements or arguments or the content of that argument prior to the shooting?
No.
I want to ask generally, so Did you process the scene? Are you the lead investigator on this case?
I am.
Okay, so as a lead investigator, I would presume that you would have secured the chambers and evidence once you arrived.
I was part of that, yes.
You were part of it, right? But you're the lead investigator, so you'd be in charge of those duties and delegating what should be done. Is that
No.
fair?
No, I don't delegate what's done.
Okay, so you're the lead investigator. What does that mean?
I'm the case officer.
Okay, so you're carrying the case. So I want to make sure I understand. Had Judge Mullins been removed from chambers when you arrived?
No,
Were you able to ascertain, did he have a firearm on his person?
we did not locate one.
You did not locate one?
No, there was not one in the chambers.
Okay.
Ooh,
And there was none on his person?
No,
a lot of judges carry guns.
All right. Who was the first person to arrive on behalf of law enforcement to investigate?
they were already in the courthouse.
Fair enough, but I'm talking about in terms of people that we may see a report from or take part in this investigation. Who would be the first person?
I believe Trooper Jason Bates was the first KSP personnel on scene.
And you spoke with him, and
I did.
he searched and did not locate a firearm.
No, he didn't search the scene. No,
You
his
just-
role
Sure.
his role at that point was security of the scene.
I understand, but I'm just trying to ascertain. You said earlier that there was no firearm found. I'm
No,
wanting to know, can you tell us, was it specifically searched for a firearm?
in the judge's chambers,
Yes, sir.
there was myself, Detective Chris Collins, Detective Scott Caldwell, Detective Eric Caldwell. That's all I recall right now.
Okay, but I'm trying to understand. So who searched specifically for a firearm?
We all did.
And that was specifically something you looked for?
Yes.
Fair enough. Okay. Of course, your investigation, did you ascertain that prior in the day, there had been a lunch meeting between Sheriff Stines and Judge Mullins?
There was.
Pardon?
There was.
Sorry, I couldn't hear your response. I wasn't being trite. So where did this take place?
It's a restaurant called Street Side, and it's just down the street from the courthouse.
Okay. And it's my understanding there were a couple of other people who attended the luncheon.
There were several, yes.
Okay. And at some point after that, they wrapped up lunch and left, obviously, and went back to the courthouse. Are you aware of anything so far in your investigation that would tell us there was any issues at lunch between Judge
No,
Mullins and Sheriff Stines?
no.
But someone on behalf of the KSP has spoken to those witnesses?
Yes, they've all been interviewed.
And there was nothing unusual that had arisen during that luncheon?
I was told that the judge made a statement to Mickey about, do we need to meet private in my chambers? That's all I was told.
Do you know the context of
I do
what
not.
the conversation was before that they would need to discuss in chambers?
I do not.
So it's my understanding that
Possibly.
in the larger portion of the video that we haven't had access to, that there is a point when Sheriff Stines asked for to see the telephone of Judge Mullins.
Yes.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Yes, okay. And I would presume that you and the other officers you mentioned, when you secured the scene, that you secured those phones as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
And have you reviewed both of those phones?
They're currently at the forensic lab at this time being downloaded. I have had discussions with the people at the lab regarding the downloads.
And those are a couple of other questions that I was going to ask you, but my original question was, have you reviewed or are you aware of the content of the phones?
I've not personally seen it because I've not received those reports yet.
Okay, again, based upon your conversations with the officers, are you aware of any recent content that was up and could have been relevant at the time of their discussion?
I was told that Sheriff Stines had tried to call his daughter, and he had tried to call his daughter from the judge's phone also.
What?
So,
What? Oh, what? Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, we need to replay that. Oh my God. Let's rewind it just a hair.
but my original question was, have you reviewed or are you aware of the content of the phones?
I've not personally seen it because I've not received those reports yet.
Okay, again,
Which makes me wonder, are they out there hoovering all the data off all these phones? Hopefully they are.
based upon your conversations with the officers, are you aware of any recent content that was up and could have been relevant at the time of their discussion?
I was told that Sheriff Stines had tried to call his daughter, and he had tried to call his daughter from the judge's phone also.
So, have you
He doesn't look surprised at all. Like he's like, yes, I did. Whoa, wow. Yeah, the online yeah, Tyler, the Libertarian Podcast Review. Yeah, man. These allegations appear to be true. There were all kinds of rumors floating around, like, you know, judge or the sheriff's daughter kind of doing something there with him. Woo, child. Woo, child. It might be real. Lord, child. Oh, God. I don't think you're going to, in a place like Letcher County, Kentucky, I don't think you're going to find a jury who's going to convict this man of murder or manslaughter. I see a hung jury. Oh, Lord. Oh. Of age, allegedly. I don't care if she's at the age of consent. I guarantee you, you will find people who will not convict him. Holy cow. Holy cow. Yeah. Why, Gary? Why? Maybe. It's a rumor, though, guys. We don't know for sure what happened there. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, if there's nudes, they don't nullify the age of consent. Yeah. Yeah. Let's keep going, though. Oh, my gosh. This is like a thing out of Justified, chat. This really is. You see them long, hard times come.
obtain the phone records from Judge Mullins' phone?
I don't have those in my possession yet. No.
Okay, have you issued a search
Yeah,
warrant for them?
Yes.
Okay.
I was about to say, it's been over 10 days. How do you not have this stuff rolling? But
have officers confirmed that the sheriff's daughter's phone number was on Judge Mullins' phone?
Yes. I
Okay.
believe so. Yes.
So that number had been called from Judge Mullins' phone.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So we don't have a viewing of what transpired during that exchange of phones. But based upon your review of those moments prior to, when Sheriff Stines observes that cell phone, was he previously seated?
Yes.
Okay, so in the clip we saw, he was standing the entire time.
He was seated in front of the judge's desk.
And he looks at the cell phone. Can you describe his reaction in the video that we haven't seen?
Whose reaction?
Well, the sheriff.
You can't see his face in the video.
Okay. But is it clear that, does it appear to you that, let me rephrase this. Did he stand up after
Yes.
looking at the phone?
He stood up.
And how long
Oh.
after he looked at the cell phone and
Oh.
stood up did this occur that you played?
Just seconds.
Did you make the decision on edits today for what you were going to present? In terms of, did you make the edit or determine
No,
which portion of the video we were going to see today?
no, sir, I did not.
Both cell phones have been sent to the Kentucky State Police forensic
Yes.
team, is that correct?
Yes.
Have you gotten any early report on what was found?
No.
Were both phones still on the desk when you arrived?
The judge's phone was on the desk. Sheriff Stines' phone was on his person.
Okay, so are there photographs of, was the phone locked at that point or was it still open?
With both of you asking about both of them, or?
Well, first let's talk about, that's fair. First, I'm talking about Judge Mullins, since it was the one that was still.
Hold on, I'll
the
try to
desk,
boost the audio.
Nobody touched it prior to you securing it, correct?
No.
So, yeah, so
Guys, that's the best I could do, boosting the audio. I'm sorry.
I'd like to know about that. Have you ascertained what was currently open on that cell phone?
No, I don't know at this point. No.
You don't know.
No.
Do you think that would be? Do you think that will be important to learn?
I hope to learn that when the report's ready. Yes.
But as of today, you can't tell us
No.
what was currently open on the judge's phone.
No, sir.
Did you conduct an interview?
And guys,
with
we know now from
Stein's daughter?
I didn't.
we know the neat part is with these cell phones now. You don't remember from the Murdaugh trial. We know everything about the phone. We can tell you everything it did, what it was on, how long it was open for, where it was sitting on the things. We can tell you how he scrolled through it. So we'll know all that data.
No, but she has been interviewed.
Are you aware of?
Who did this? This guy didn't interview anybody. It sounds like they sent other people out to do interviews. Jesus, like you think this guy would do something?
Who was present when she was interviewed?
Lieutenant Randy Combs and Detective Anthony Trotter.
She was interviewed with or without her parent?
With.
So her parent was present at the time you interviewed her?
Yes, I believe. I wasn't there, but yes, I think so.
Law enforcement has not spoken to her without her parent present?
Not that I'm aware of.
Did the Kentucky State Police obtain her phone?
No.
You intend to obtain records for?
Hold on, they didn't take her phone. They didn't take her phone. So sheriff murders the judge, and it sounds like it's all about his daughter. Why isn't her phone at least being examined? Why aren't you searching that phone? I mean, wow. 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 Why wouldn't you go get it?
For her cell phone number?
Possibly, yes.
They haven't even gotten the cell phone records for her phone. Possibly, we might do that. He's Kentucky State Police. So this is the preeminent law enforcement agency in the state of Kentucky. And the Kentucky State Police aren't bad. But wow, they're not even going after the guy. Juror 13 says Kentucky. They still think the phone is on the pole. Ah. But no, seriously, they are not. Wow. They're saying why? You're not that stupid. They already know what's on it. Yeah, but you still get everything. Cover all the bases. Yes. Ariel says, is Kentucky a Commonwealth? Yes, it is the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Yeah, so what exactly are they doing? I mean, I understand they're nice guys, but geez. Could not getting that phone be a failure to preserve exculpatory evidence? Yes, very much. Very much so. What was on that phone? We don't know now. So let's see here. We're going to keep going.
Do you believe that that will be soon that you'll do that?
Could be, yes.
Had you already intended to do that, or did you just respond to my question?
Well, the call should be on the
Oh,
judge's records too.
oh,
I understand.
And she's made statements about what.
ow! That is. Are you just answering my questions, or are you actually intending to do that? Oof! God, he's fucking tearing this guy apart.
Occurred during those conversations.
I understand that, but I would presume that have you ascertained whether Judge Mullins also had apps that stand outside of phone records?
I've not received those records yet. I don't know what's on the
Well,
phone.
fair enough, but I mean, did you look at the phone? Did it appear there were apps on it?
I'm not the person that's qualified to look through the phone.
Okay, but you're familiar with cell phones. They can host other forms of communication. Yes, sir.
What's the objection?
Didn't ask an answer, Your Honor. He's asked a question, I think, about 4 or 5 different ways. The officer, the detective repeatedly said he does not have a report with phones. He's not looking for phones. He can't testify that matter.
The hell can he testify
I'll let him
to?
ask the question, and what he can only testify what he has personal
Yeah.
knowledge about.
Absolutely, yes, sir. Thank you.
Right.
So you're aware that phones can be used for apps such as Facebook.
Yes,
Okay. And that is not something that is captured by cell phone records. You would agree with me?
I agree.
So in light of that, although the records may
This
be
is the defense attorney.
mutually the same, right, the same between Judge Mullins' phone and the sheriff's daughter, do you believe that you could also ascertain other information from the cell phone app content?
Are you asking what apps are on the phone?
Yes. Well, that was my original question.
I don't know
thought you would know.
I've not received that report yet. I don't know what apps he had downloaded on the phone.
If he has social media apps, do you intend to?
That could lead to additional search warrants, yes.
If you would, officer, please let me finish before you move forward, and I'll try to slow down a little bit as well, okay?
Jeez.
Sure.
Picture. Have you determined whether there were any previous issues, personal or professional, between Sheriff Stines and Judge Mullins?
I've heard things.
What have you heard?
Ooh.
Just that this regarding the lawsuit that the Letcher County Sheriff's Office is currently involved with.
The lawsuit that involved ultimately a criminal conviction of a deputy for sexual behavior in the judge's chambers. Is that the one you're referring to?
Yes.
Okay, and the subject matter of that lawsuit,
Mm-hmm.
the chambers area, that's the same.
Okay, guys. So what that lawsuit's about, real quick. We need to explain this. A deputy sheriff was basically like telling people. She told this lady, "Hey, you owe court fines. Well, here we'll have sex at the courthouse. You won't owe fines anymore." He used the judge's chambers, and it sounds like he did it kind of like after hours or when nobody was around. So that's kind of what we're dealing with that, yeah. So just so you guys understand, the judge is not implicated in that. That was a separate person who got in trouble there. Eric with a K says, "Thanks, Sean. Well, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing well." Deutsch Chad is saying, Yeah, this is all. Yeah, this is still. Yeah, this is. Still, though, even though I say that and clarify, It still is you with a lot of what the fuck. I know. Let's keep going. Let's keep going, though. Oh, it's actually the... Okay, sorry. Chinny's like, the cost for an ankle bracelet in home confinement. Okay. So here we go.
Chambers in which this occurred, is that correct?
I'm not familiar with the details of that case that the lawsuit resulted from.
Okay. Are you aware of any criminal reports that Sheriff Stines had made of Judge Mullins prior to this day?
No.
Did you personally observe Sheriff Stines following this video?
Did I personally observe him? What?
Did you meet with him? Did you talk to him after?
He was in custody when I arrived at the courthouse that afternoon.
And at some point, did you draw any observation about his demeanor?
He was mostly calm, I thought. I mean, I talked to him, but not, he didn't say nothing about why this had happened, but he was calm. He was kind of afraid that basically all he said was, treat me fair. That's basically the comments he made.
Okay. Did he also make a statement about, I didn't see it in the citation, you're somewhere along the line, I saw a statement being attributed to him about protecting his family?
I wasn't present, but when he was taken into custody, I was told by one of the other officers that were there that he made the comment, they're trying to kidnap my wife and kid.
Wait, hold on here. I didn't hear that part. What?
When he was taken into custody, I was told by one of the other officers that were there that he made the comment, they're trying to kidnap my wife and kid.
Sounds like, I mean, so is he mental or what's going on? Yeah, even more like justified now, yeah. Who is they? Yeah, we don't know. Who is they? That's interesting, though. Is that Thai aggressive salmon?
Have you ascertained any evidence that this shooting was pre-planned?
No, not at this time.
Whoa.
Would you agree that
He doesn't have any evidence this was pre-planned. Damn. Wow. This is getting intense. This is getting intense. Is he had the Dixie Mafia involved? I don't know, chat. I don't know. This is getting weirder by the day. Wow. Also, is this Thai aggressive salmon? No, it's a very nice, kind of like looks colors when you hold it, but yeah, it's not aggressive salmon. It's very nice. It goes with the black today very well. Let's keep going.
from what we've seen so far, from the evidence you've seen so far, the shooting was a reaction to what was on that cell phone in that moment? Is that accurate?
Objection, all speculation outside of his civil expertise.
Your Honor, I believe that if he has formed an opinion about the investigation up to this point, especially at a preliminary hearing, he can speculate.
Yeah.
Or sustain.
Sure. So,
Really? Oh, come on. Let him ask that
so
question.
anything other than the content of the phone that this video will reveal to us about why this took place?
No.
does it appear that this took place as a reaction to what was happening in the chambers at that point?
I can say it occurred after a phone call was made. I don't know what was said or nothing like that. But
Fair enough, and I'm not asking you the content of any of that, but at this point, is it your theory that whatever that content was in the discussion was the impetus of the shooting?
Was it content neutral?
it could be, but I don't know that for a fact.
Okay. Do you have any evidence up until this point that you have developed that would demonstrate that it was not, as a reaction to what was on the phone?
No,
None whatsoever?
no.
Okay. Here's if I had just one moment for. Did you attempt to speak to Sheriff Stines at the Letcher County Jail after the incident?
No,
Did anyone from your agency attempt to interview him?
not to my knowledge, no.
And at that point, had he asserted his right to an attorney or anything?
No,
But nobody went back to try to talk to him or do an interview?
no.
I think I have one other question. In addition to cell phones that were discussed, the cell phone of Sheriff Stines and the cell phone that you found of Judge Mullins, were there additional phones that you were able to obtain?
There was one other phone that's currently being examined. And
Ooh.
the basic reason it was seized was there was a text conversation between Sheriff Stines and some of his employees with the sheriff's office.
And that was
Ooh.
an additional phone of Sheriff Stines.
Spoopy.
It was a phone of, I guess she's the, I don't know what her title is, but she's employed. She's not sworn. She's employed by the Letcher County Sheriff's Office. And she voluntarily gave her phone to the person that interviewed her.
Okay, and just out of curiosity, what could you why that was relevant or germane to your investigation?
I didn't conduct that interview, but it was, I guess it was regarding the dinner at Streetside and things that led up to the shooting. But I don't have those results either, so I don't know exactly what was said.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought when we discussed that earlier that you indicated there was no evidence that the conversations at the lunch.
I haven't seen those conversations yet. I've not received the downloads from the phone.
Right, but I asked you if you're aware of any information that could have been gleaned from witnesses at that meeting. And as I recall, you said no, but there is some information that something was discussed at this lunch. Is that correct?
I don't know what was discussed at lunch.
I understand, but you obtained this lady that we don't know her name. You obtained her phone in an effort or based on a belief that she would be able to demonstrate what was said at lunch. So you would agree with me. You believe that there is a witness or information that may have popped up at lunch.
There's a recorded interview with her in the case, and I'm yet to receive the downloads of the phone, so I don't know what to obtain.
Okay, has that?
See, chat, if only they had gone to a Denny's, the sheriff would have spent so much time trying to figure out what he ordered, he would have forgot he had to kill the judge. Something to think about. So, Nick is still solving the world's problems.
Phone been sent to the forensic examination as well?
Yes.
Thank you. Also, that's all I have. Thank you.
Redirect.
Questions? Has Judge Mullins, he's sent to medical examiner's office for autopsy.
He was.
Have you received that report yet?
No.
Have you had an informal conversation with him regarding his cause of death?
Yes.
And what was that?
Multiple gunshot wounds.
I mean, yeah, we kind of already knew that.
The video we showed earlier, that a true and accurate clip copy of what you received?
Yes.
Councilman introduced Councilman Exhibit number 1, Your Honor.
Any objection?
Right, I'd ask, of course, all we saw today was the clip, but I asked it be admitted in its entirety. Your Honor.
You want to respond to that?
Did not, I don't think preliminary hearings required, of course, probable cause, this statute probable cause. I think the entire clip is outside the purview of these proceedings today.
Yeah, I think if you want to see the whole video, you should have objected earlier. I'll admit the
Oh,
short clip. Yeah.
oh,
Enter that as exhibit number 1.
that's a fair argument. You didn't when you don't raise the objection, you waive it. I don't like that, but that's fair. You should have asked for the whole video earlier. Although maybe there's a reason why they're not asking for the whole video earlier too.
And Detective, is this an ongoing investigation?
Yes, it is.
And as this ongoing investigation proceeds, you will be obviously interviewing more people if necessary, submitting more evidence to the lab.
Yes.
That's all I have.
Recross. All right. Any other witnesses for the Commonwealth?
No,
All right. You may step down. Any witnesses for the defendant? I'll find probable cause and bind this case over the grand jury. Anything else? Anything else before we adjourn court?
There's no, we're not allowed to sum up, Judge, what.
Oh, if you want to make an argument, sure.
It seems like I may change your mind, Judge.
It is a probable cause hearing, so, but yes,
I understand.
take your best shot.
Thank you, Ryan. Well, so, murder under our statute, as the court knows, and I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but if there is an issue as to extreme emotional disturbance, then there has to be some evidence that would rebut that. And specifically, when I asked the witness today if there was any evidence to rebut that this occurred as a direct result in the moment of this observation, I may have none at this point. And I give it's just probable cause, but I think they've established probable cause for manslaughter first, but not murder.
I think that's a fair argument. Manslaughter only.
This is not, an example of an extreme emotional disturbance relative to the phone. At any rate, Judge, respectfully, I understand the court's previous ruling, but I did want to address that one.
No, that's fine. Let
Thank
the
you, Your Honor.
Commonwealth respond.
Thank you, Your Honor. Extreme emotional disturbance is a defense. There's not been a defense presented here to this court today. The evidence presented to this court today is that the judge was intentionally shot and killed, shot multiple times by the sheriff, and there's probable cause to bind the grand jury murder charge.
Yeah, I agree. There's probable cause to proceed as murder.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else before we adjourn court today?
Your Honor, in terms of, we'd like to discuss, if we could, lodging from here where he's transported. Is it the court's intention to have him take, and I don't want to discuss that potentially publicly, Your Honor?
I'm not sure I can make that, help you on that.
Yes, Your Honor. So,
I mean, we could, you're welcome to staff court and discuss that, but I'm not sure I can tell the.
yes, sir. So the transport order that was entered that will direct Sheriff Stines to go back to where he came from, Judge. Is that fair?
Let's adjourn court and we'll talk about that.
Yes, sir.
I don't know that I can change where he's going to be at.
I'm sure. Yes, sir.
We can discuss it. All right.
Thanks, sir.
All right. Court's adjourned.
Yes, sir.
All right, chat. So there's nothing else here. So yeah, that's a preliminary hearing. And that's the same. It's about whether or not there's probable cause, sent to the grand jury. And our preliminary hearing is kind of a joke for the most part. Yes. The probable cause hurdle is very low. It's very easy to get over. And in this situation, they've got really good evidence. He's on video just going bop, 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 bop. And then he gets underneath the desk, and then he goes, bop, 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 like to the judge. Pretty clear evidence he murdered the guy. Now that wasn't a surprise, and I think even the defense attorney realized that was going to happen that way. So, yeah, Eric is saying what, and you're asking. So where is this? This was in Letcher County, Kentucky. Letcher County, Kentucky is all the way down here in Kentucky. It's down in the holler. This is down coal country. If you guys have ever watched Justified, Harlan County, Kentucky is right here. So this is God's country down there. It's not a very populated place. It's as of the 2020 census, 21,000 people lived in that county. As of the 2020 census, there are 21,000 people in that county. It's very sparsely populated. So, was the judge from the same area? Yeah, he's all right there. And if you guys don't understand, this is out there, chat. This is the part of, and if you guys aren't aware, down here is Virginia. This is Virginia. Oh, hold on. Down here is Virginia. And then up this way is West Virginia. And then up here is Ohio. Like Ohio goes up that way. Then like Indiana is over here for most of the way. And then there's like Illinois. Help you guys with your geography a little bit. And then down here is Tennessee. So that's kind of where things are, just so you guys understand kind of what you're looking at. So this is in a very rural area. Forgot Missouri. Well, we're not doing Missouri. So we got a lot of comments here we're going to try to catch up on. We learned a lot today. We learned so much. I mean, think about all the crap we just heard. So the sheriff and the judge, they were at a lunch meeting, and something happened, and the judge said, we should take this back to my office. They go back. At some point, and I remember hearing this too, that the sheriff had accessed the judge's phone. But now we know for sure he tried to call his daughter on the judge's phone. Oh, wow. Yeah. This is not a good look. This is not a good look. Hell is saying, this is like the U.S. version of the Outback. No, the Outback would be like Utah and stuff. This is just, it's a good place. It's a good place. But wow, a lot has happened there. And now we know something about the daughter on the phones. We know that they have the judge's phone and his phone. And then this third party's phone where apparently he was talking to the sheriff was talking to other people. But they didn't seize the daughter's phone yet. They didn't take like a dump of the phone, which, come on, man. That's kind of important. It's kind of important. I mean, there's no way he doesn't know what that interview with the daughter has to be at this point. There's no way. I can't imagine it. I cannot imagine it. And guys, welcome to everybody here that's new. If you're new, you've never been here before. My name's Sean, also known as Potentially Criminal. I am a defense attorney in the Cleveland area. And today, yeah, we are covering the preliminary hearing of Mickey Stines as the Commonwealth of Kentucky is getting ready to indict him for murder. Right now, he's been charged with first-degree murder. And it sounds like they're going to present that to the grand jury and get him indicted. So, and we will go back real quick and watch the video. We will go back real quick and watch the video, because if you guys weren't here at the beginning, we can see this. So we're going to catch up on some of the, you know what? Actually, we're going to go back. We'll watch the video real quick here. We'll watch the video. This video is just, it's intense. So here we go. We're going to rewatch this. And like I said, if you guys weren't here before and you have a problem watching somebody get shot in front of you and get killed in front of you, be warned, you don't want to watch it for the next 5 minutes, okay? But we're going to be going through this. So just, you've been warned. You've been warned. Because you're going to watch somebody get got. Oh, I got to put our little long cuck blocker up. All right, here we go, chat. Here we go. And we'll slow it down just a hair. We'll slow it down just a hair. We'll do like 85% speed. We'll do like 85% speed. How about that? We'll run that, see if we can help it. Now, if you notice, out of the corner of the screen, the judge is putting his hands up. And it looks like the sheriff already has his gun out. Because if we go forward a little bit, as you can see, the sheriff's already in the corner right here, and you saw the judge put his hands up. So the sheriff's right here, the judge is sitting down right here, and he's got his hands up. You saw that. So here we go. He's still got his hands up. He's still got his hands up. Here we go. You can see he's not shot him yet, but as we're going to get there. Bam, bam, twice. He comes over the top. Whew. Yeah. Fallen Preacher says that's a tiny office. Well, RP says, why is there a camera in the judge's office? What sounds like they do, sometimes they do things on the record there, so they have a video, and that way they can audio record and sync it up. It's not 100% clear, because, yeah, normally most judges, at least around here in Ohio, if you try to tell a judge, hey, judge, we're going to put a camera in your chambers, they'd be like, the hell you are. So it's a very weird thing here. Sleuthy Goosey saying, yeah, he wasn't taking the chance that judge would walk out of there. Oh, yeah. He made sure. Ain't Right says all judges' offices have cameras. Not in his not in the courthouses I've been in, man. There might be cameras in the office area, but having cameras in chambers like that, man, that is something interesting. If they have it there, yeah. And Tim Beatty's saying the camera is new for the sex thing. And that's, remember, we talked about that. There was this deputy running around trying to extort women for sex to help them if they owed fines and costs or to pay for home monitoring, electronic monitoring, because that costs money. Yeah, so it sounds like that sex brought in the cameras. And it sounds like that, but we don't know 100% for sure. Yeah, and the camera might be for the lawsuit of that, but still, for a judge to see that much privacy, that is very impressive to me that a judge would be willing to do that. Because, my experience with judges, and Tyler, I know you've had experience with judges, it takes a lot for a judge to secede that kind of power. Or cede that kind of power. Not secede, but cede that kind of power. Those shots under the desk were headshots. Maybe. But remember, this judge is kind of hiding around the bench and all that. I mean, we call those anchor shots. Meaning he's making sure you're anchored to the ground. You ain't getting up. So whatever they were, they worked. They worked. And if you guys haven't seen it, we'll watch it again one last time here. But yeah, here we go. So here we go. Yeah. Whew. So Trash Ash says, was the judge doing something to the sheriff's daughter or something? We don't know. But that's what it sounds like happened, because remember, the sheriff was messing around with his phone and tried to call the daughter on the sheriff's phone, which, think about when you're dealing with parties, one party's cheating on another, you use that to make a call. Hey, what number is there? I mean, that's kind of bad. Cat Scout says nothing fell off the desk out of all of that. Well, tidy desk, tidy workspace. JL says, will the grand jury hear more evidence? Yes, they will. Presumably, they're going to hear more. Presumably, they might even try to determine, help give a motive. They might do a lot more, but we don't really know. We don't really know. They don't have to show a lot more. They could say, look, that's the sheriff. That's him going like this to the judge. Is that murder, jury? And the jury's going to be like, yeah, that looks like murder. And they'll indict him. So this is going to get, the layers to this thing is going to be very interesting. There's going to be some, this is going to look like a novel before it's done. Yeah, this is very intense. Was he justified? Yes. Yes, order will be restored in my county. We don't really know. We don't really know, guys. John Grisham already wrote a book about this, I'm sure. Yeah, this is... If any of that with the daughter is true, he's probably going to get acquitted. Or at the very least, a hung jury, no matter what happens. So... but yeah, we need to get through some of these super chats, and you guys, a bunch of you guys have comments here we need to answer. So we're going to get to those. You guys have a bunch of questions. I saved them. We're going to get to those. Phoenix has been a member for 3 months. Thank you, Phoenix. My Negroes for $5 says, was it because the judge was violating the Constitution, or did the judge grape his daughter? Sounds like it might be closer to the latter than the former. Corey Cass been a member for 1 month, saying, friendly reminder to all to hug Sean if seen in real life. Please don't. Please don't. No mandates. Not a Fed says jury nullification if I'm on it. I think there's going to be a lot of people inclined to jury nullification. Benjamin Lewis says, being gifted 1 membership. Thank you. Thank you for the support. Barton Pella says, are we watching the debate? Yes, we will be. We'll be watching JD Vance and Walls go at it, but that's not for another hour. So we'll get to that. We'll get to that later. I'll set the link up for that. Stephen Cooper's a new member. Thank you, Stephen. Zach says, back to blue. Anyone with me? Anyone? Oh, guys? Stephen Cooper says that judge was unsolved. Looks like he likes cheese pizza. Possibly, man. Possibly. Something sketchy going on there. Kevin Dort says, what about covering Mark Bettero's letter for the Turtle Boy case? That's an interesting one, too. There's a lot going on there, too. But yeah, there's a lot to do here, Kevin. I'll take a look at that. Shinny's saying you need to read the lawsuit that names the sheriff to get more context why there's a video camera in the chambers. Yeah, and that goes back to the deputy was extorting women for sex. 2 cookies for Rideout says plead temporary insanity. He might do that. Although it sounds like, given what happened, he's not going to get temporary insanity, but he might argue, heat of the moment, manslaughter arguments. But manslaughter in Missouri is like 20 to 50, or Kentucky is like 20 to 50 years if you use a gun. So they're gonna have to shoot. They're gonna have to get an acquittal or a hung jury. Sleuthy is saying this intrigued me also. I'm sure it did. It very much intrigued me the moment I heard about it. KLF saying technically the sheriff was the first law enforcement officer there. Yes, he was there all the way to the scene of the crime. Would this be jury nullification? Very possibly. I mean, there's a lot of guys. There's a lot of things at stake here that don't add up. Sleuthy's saying, I didn't notice any blood flying as he shot him all those times. Remember, people don't, not everybody bleeds the same way, but generally speaking, there isn't going to be blood flying out when you shoot someone. Doesn't always happen. At the ranges he was at, I'm sure that ammo was penetrating very deeply into the judge. But if those were all shots to the center mass, they weren't hitting any arteries. Like if he shot him in the neck and hit his carotid artery, yeah, it looked like a hose cut open, possibly. But remember, people bleed differently every time. You can, you can't recreate the same exact thing. You can try to get close, but people are different. Physiologies are different. The way the bullet penetrates is going to be different. Doesn't always happen. Just Joy says, can the family hire daughter an attorney? Yes, they can. That way she's forced to hand the phone over. Well, no, the attorney's not just going to hand the phone over. In fact, the attorney's got to represent the daughter's interests. So they can't just hire an attorney to screw the daughter over and give it to the cops, because that'd be violation of attorney-client privilege, violation of multiple rules of ethics. So, yes, they would be smart to get an attorney in the meantime. YouTube Sucks says, how are all these law enforcement agencies so inept? Case after case. Yeah, I don't know, but hopefully it's just him not having everything lined up or being able to articulate it, and they're on top of this. We'll find out soon enough. We will find out soon enough. Jefferson Post saying, what, if anything, are you qualified to do? Yes. What exactly is your job here? What exactly do you do? Rob Dorr has been a member for 23 months. Wow. Thank you, Rob, saying this is painful to watch. Yeah, but remember the defense. Think about how long his preliminary hearing was. That's a long time for questioning. But the neat thing is, now they're starting to nail down information. So if it changes later on, they could say, well, why are we changing stories, detective? What's the dealio? Nick Kreuzer is saying, I love how the sheriff knew he had to say, treat me fair, because he knows how everyone else gets treated. Yeah, that could be very revealing there. Could be very revealing. That's a shame, says whatever he saw on that phone riled him up. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Very, very true. Debbie's saying there's no jury, for fuck's sake, this is preliminary hearing. Yeah. But I understand that, but guys, remember, you generally still have to abide by the rules of evidence. There might be a little bit of laxing when it comes to hearsay, but that's generally like the only rule you kind of like waver on, because you're still early on in the investigations. And part of the reason why he had his preliminary hearing now, many states by law, as part of speedy trial rights and your rights to be heard in front of judges, to have preliminary hearings that have notice of felony charges and then have the ability to contest felony charges. It's a very short time window. In Ohio, it's similar. If you're in custody, it's like within 10 days, you have to have preliminary hearing. So it's not, this part's not absurd. Pseudo Snark for $20. Thank you. It's saying, walk into moot court right now, question. Could an image on the phone be sufficient provocation to reduce the liability to voluntary manslaughter or second-degree murder? Yeah, possibly, but both of those are really bad too, like multi-decade sentences. So I think this guy's going to have to go with the judge needed killing defense, and that's the only way out of this for him. Coke Fairy says, what did this bloke do? He is the sheriff, so he's the elected law enforcement official of the county he lives in. He's the highest-ranking law enforcement official. He walked into the judge's chambers. They had an argument over something, and then he shot him to death. So pretty straightforward. My Negroes is a new member. Thank you. Extreme Blonde says, why put this guy in a stand when he's got no info? Well, they've got to do something, and he's the lead investigator. At least he can give the basics of the investigation. More importantly, he could identify. Remember, we don't need a whole lot of evidence because we have the act happening on video. We rarely get that. But yes, we have the entire incident on video. So it's not as critical. Nick Kreuzer says defendant Sean Martin and his lawyer critical drinker. Funny. Zero Skills says you can't put the sheriff in Gen Pop. Yeah, he's not, but he's in protective custody in another jail multiple counties away. Jason JJJ is saying, would you guess it was premeditated? Sounds like the police are saying we don't believe it is. So I think he was like very sus of the judge, and then all of a sudden it happened. But we'll find out. My Negro says, so I take it the judge was doing some pedo shit. Possibly. I don't know. Maybe just something improper. Who knows, really? Jefferson Post saying, is the probable cause hearing sometimes more useful for probing the case for weaknesses than getting a dismissal? Yes. Yes. You probe the case for weaknesses, but also if there are witnesses or victims, you can have them on the stand and you can challenge them later on because now their testimony, like once they give a comment about something, it's baked. It's baked in already. You know, if they start challenging it or changing it, you could start accusing them of being a liar. So there are a lot of ways you can use a preliminary hearing to your advantage. This situation, there aren't as many, but it sounds like his attorney knew a lot of facts to really run with. And I'm assuming that there are people in the sheriff's office who are feeding information or in law enforcement in the area who are feeding information to the sheriff and his legal team because they seem to know a lot about what had been done or what hadn't been done yet in the investigation. Jefferson once again says, whoa, way more effective than a dull Swiss Army knife. Yes. Yes, he didn't have to shoot him 55 times. Zero says, why even pursue this? They know it's a loser. Who knows, man? Remember, there's a lot of political instability in Kentucky right now. Peter Ortiz for $2 says is the daughter of legal age. Sounds like it. She's 16. But then there's the issue. He's so old, that's a problem. And then Peter Ortiz became a member himself. Well, thank you, Peter. Welcome. Davel saying, Sean, how many witnesses show up to trial from the trailer park? Some do, some don't. It all depends. Romeo saying the older daughter's a freshman at university. Yeah, that's going to be... Yeah, get those inconsistencies on the record. Yes, and that's very helpful at times. You've nailed down testimony that now is transcripted and official. Eric with the case says, I don't think this was the judge's first victim. Very, very real possibility, yeah. And Tia and Nana saying, but Daddy, I love him. I'm sure that went over well. Oh. The jury must acquit. I guarantee you, a jury of 12, which I don't even know if you're entitled to in Kentucky. Let's say it's 12. You're not going to get 12 people who acquit. You're probably going to get a hung jury, but it'll probably be like 7-5, something like that. Now, before we get too far, chat, his attorney made a comment afterwards, and I do think we should hear it because this is very interesting, and he kind of lays some light on stuff. Here we go. So this is his attorney, Jeremy Bartley, and it's on Twitter, guys, so we don't have good sound here, but just kind of follow along if you can.
I left the hearing today with a lot of questions still unanswered myself. We hoped that there may be more light that will be shed on the preceding events, but again, this is district court. It's a preliminary hearing, and we certainly look forward to addressing the entire version upstairs.
And I respect that, but it did come up during the hearing that the daughter's number was on Judge Mullins' phone, and that he attempted to call his daughter on both phones while he was there, right? I mean, that's what acoustics are not great, but that's what I heard, so.
I'll let the tape speak for itself, and I don't want to comment, Bill, respectfully at
No,
this
I
point
understand.
on what that might mean.
Since it came up, I just want that.
Is that daughter a minor?
I don't want to comment on that. I'm sure that
This is why it's dangerous to talk, chat. This is why it's dangerous to talk to the press, but oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, super low volume. I can't do anything about it, chat. It's on Twitter. Sorry. You're going to have to suffer.
you can ascertain that her age from other things, but I don't want to comment on the daughter.
That's very interesting. Oh boy. Oh boy. They asked him, what do you want to say? He's like, I don't really want to comment on that. I don't want to comment on this. I don't want to comment on that. Yeah. Yeah. Kat, but not Kat Williams, gifted 10 memberships. Thank you, Kat. Thank you for your support and generosity. Thank you so much. But yeah, guys, this is sound behind, but I can see chat's a little gray. I know. That's right, chat. Keep moving, grays. This is the green neighborhood. It's sundown. You're not welcome here. This is a green neighborhood. Leo says, why are there two Seans on screen? I thought my doppelganger was in the other trial we watched. Is this the shooter talking to the press? What the fuck is wrong with him? No, this is his attorney, Ali say. It's his attorney. Afix says, and you usually don't say the names of minors. Yeah, but that's going to become very key to the trial very quickly, or key to the defense. So, nothing wrong with listening to it. Your tie is loud enough, lol. Yeah, I like it. Fuzzy Creature says, do sheriff's offices usually operate security in courts? Typically, yes. In Ohio, pretty much every courthouse uses sheriff's deputies for security. The only exception would be like a municipal court. So there's some municipal courts here in the Cleveland area, for example, that might use local police. So like, for example, there's a municipal court in Rocky River, Ohio. They use Rocky River police officers for that. They have details that protect the courthouse. There's, here in Mentor, Ohio, for example, the Mentor police are up front. That said, though, some of the other courts that I go to in the area, over especially on the east side of town, they just have the bailiffs are armed, and that's basically court security. But for the most part, most courts in general, and like a lot of states, you're going to find like a sheriff's department or some kind of designated court security. I think in like the state of New York, they actually have, like, for example, they have their own like court security department, like that works statewide providing security for courts. But yeah, generally it's going to be some sort of county official, county agency doing security. But either way, the sheriff, any cop who's on duty and in uniform comes walking into a courthouse, he is not going to be disarmed. If you're a cop and you're wearing your uniform and you come walking in, I mean, maybe if it's like in your buddies are running the gate and they know you're not on duty today, they might stop you. But if the deputy, like sheriff's deputies are there and you work for the town, they might not know, and you'll be able to walk in with a gun on. There will be nothing to stop you. And Juror 13 says the reporters know. Oh, yeah, they know a lot. They know a lot. Grossworth says sheriffs don't get to be the judge, jury, and executioner. He must be held to a standard. Sheriffs don't get to be vigilantes. Well, it's not just the sheriff as a vigilante, just anybody being a vigilante. I mean, he's the sheriff, yes, but he's a father in that situation. Here's the problem, though. You're going to have to convince a jury of those a jury of his peers, a jury of people from Letcher County, that what he did was not right. Now, they might agree, yeah, it was wrong. And they'll say, yeah, it was wrong to kill the judge, but we understand. Not guilty. Or they'll get one or two of them and say, not guilty, and you get a hung jury. It'll be very interesting to see how this plays out. Poisonous Paradox is kind of rude, but okay. Oh, stick around, guys. Don't leave. As we said, subs can't go without grace. Of course, of course. His attorney seemed pretty good. Oh, his attorney seemed very aggressive. They seemed very aggressive. Poisonous Paradoxes, we're just here for Clyde. Well, of course, everybody's here for Clyde. And let me see. Hold on. Hey, Clyde. Come here, Bubba. Clyde. Come on, Clyde. Clyde. I guess he's not coming, chat. Oh, well. He's ignoring us. And if you guys are new, Clyde is one of our dogs. He likes to come get on camera. Oh, hi, buddy. You want to join me? Come on. Come here. Come on. Come here. Hey. Hey. Up here. Come here, Clyde. Come on. Clyde, come on. Clyde. Come here. Buddy. Come on. Come on. Come on. And he got with like 3 feet and he changed his mind. So sorry, chat. No dog tonight. Maybe later. Davel says constables. Yeah, constables. I think Kentucky has those. And I know other states do too, but that's a whole nother weird kind of like intermediate type of law enforcement. Peter Ortiz gifted 5 subs. Thank you. Thank you for the memberships. Thank you for the support. So Angela's been a member for 1 month. Thank you, Angela. And Davel saying New York has court security. Yeah. Vince Clortho is a new member. Thank you, Vince. All these other lawyers are the sons of Sean. I'm the Primarch. It's like Warhammer 40K. Yeah. I'm the Primarch of the fat gray-haired lawyers. Yes. Lost cause says, so either the judge is doing something really nuts or the sheriff has completely lost his damn mind. I think that's pretty much going to be the only 2 theories at this point that make sense. Either the sheriff lost his goddamn mind, which can happen, or the judge was doing something that he shouldn't have, and we're all going to be like, well, oh well. I think those are our 2 options. Am I going to do the debate tonight? Yes, we are. And we're going to wrap this up here in a minute, chat, so we can get ready for the debate. Peter Ortiz is a change of venue. See, that's the neat thing. The state is not entitled to a change of venue. The defense is. The bigger issue here is if the state can't get a fair jury, if they can't, well, remember, they're not entitled to a fair trial. The 6th Amendment to the United States Constitution only mentions one party, the defendant, the accused. If you can't find anybody in that county willing to convict your defendant, that's where you have to take a moment of self-reflection and go, maybe this isn't it. Maybe the society has decided this isn't a crime and shouldn't be a crime, or at the very least, this specific instance should not be prosecuted. If your community is making a policy decision like that, it should tell you a lot. Karen saying, will that small town lawyer have all the skills to defend a murder charge? I mean, what do you think happens across the country? It's not all Johnny Cochran's doing it. It's a lot of guys doing their thing. That across the country, you find solo practitioners and small firm attorneys getting down in court all the time, man. That's the nature of the game. Juror 13 says only 15 people eligible to be jurors down there. Well, yeah, that would be an issue too. D is saying Noah was getting straight buck broken by his internet today. Kind of sucked, but was funny. Well, that sucks to hear. That sucks to hear. Yes, I got denied by my dog. I know. Yes, I got owned. Brady says the dog trainer is me is screaming. Yeah, but he generally doesn't mind. It's lately, like the past 2 weeks, he's been acting weird when I'm in the chair sitting here, but it happens. It happens. So, oh, this ruling got released I was waiting on. Thank God. Here. Oh, thank God we got one. Sorry. Got what we were looking for. Gotta get some of my clients good news. Hell yes. Oh, that's awesome. The judge messing around with his underage daughter? Possibly. We're not 100% sure. Vince Clorto says I was on a gifted membership. Well, thank you, Vince. Stabby's been a member for 16 months, is dispatching criminal justice for the Emperor. Yes. Always for the Emperor. The Kingism says, we live in a society. We do. We very much do. We do very much live in a society. Emily says, how often do you get down in court? Depends. I mean, it's if there's trials to be had, there's trials to be had. You know, we were set for trial on Friday, and the prosecutor comes in. And he's like, well, I guess I'm going to have to dismiss it. We were ready. I was ready. Got my boots on and everything. You know, we were going to go hat down, but, you know, the prosecutor don't want to have it. It's hard to have a trial when they dismiss it. Yeah. There are small town lawyers every bit as good as Johnny Cochran, not the majority, but good lawyers practice everywhere. Yeah. There are lawyers out there getting it done all over the place. Climbing that towards that super lawyer rating. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what I want. I want to pay $500 to get a trophy. So, yeah, guys, we're all set. We got to keep your eyes peeled. This is going to be very interesting. We're gonna follow this. We're gonna take a look at that the civil rights lawsuit that got filed, to give us a little more understanding of what's going on. And from there, guys, it's only going to get, I guarantee you, it's only going to get weirder. It's only going to get weirder. It's only going to get weirder. And then also, if you guys are new, we do a weekly show every Thursday night at 9:30 Eastern, covering all kinds of stuff that's going on out there. A lot of topics are ready to get started for the week. Sarah Boone, if you guys are new, we've been covering that. She's going to trial for shoving her boyfriend in a suitcase and suffocating him. She's got some happenings that have happened lately. The guys who hacked Trump and stole the J.D. Vance dossier got indicted. Diddy has a new legal team. And also, apparently, Diddy kept on having freak-offs even after he got raided by the feds. Hannah Reid got denied her new trial. The judge in the Young Thug case is getting really close, apparently, to tossing it. And then the people involved in the Stop Oil campaigns where the harassing artwork, a couple of them finally went to prison. And it's very funny how they responded to it. And guys, we do, you know, that's just a sampling of what we're going to be talking about on Thursday. We got a bunch more stories, but it's every Thursday, 9:30 Eastern. It's always a fun time. Please join us. I think you guys will like it. And if you guys are also new, please like, share, subscribe. Certainly wouldn't mind that either. Say, are we going to watch the Benefield juror hearing on the 4th? I might be busy on the 4th, so we might have to watch it later in the afternoon. But yes, we're going to take a look at that. Goatsware is saying, do we really want a society where a sheriff's allowed to summarily execute someone without being charged with a crime? Remember, it's not the sheriff. It's just in a society. Anybody. Remember, he's a sheriff or just a regular person at that point, too. No, but are you going to really convict him for executing a man who may have been doing all this stuff to his daughter? I mean, that's the consideration you're going to have to convince other people to do, and other people won't want to do that. I understand your sentiment and I appreciate it, but that's where dogma meets the road. You know, your dogma gets, your dogma runs out in the road, it'll get hit by a car. The car of reality. And real quick, we had one last comment I wanted to get to. LPR, Tyler is saying, they're also crappy big city lawyers that live in Las Vegas, for example. Yes, very true. Huffing all the copium they can get a hold of. So, all right, guys, we're all set. I'm going to set up the stream for the debate just so it's ready to go. And yeah, for right now, I mean, this is, like I said, there'll be a lot to do here. So I just want to say thank you all for being here. It's going to be a great time. There's going to be so much more to do. And like I said, as we get to it, we will be covering it. So just remember until next time, chat, just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. And for right now, Mickey Stines, yeah, he did it. There's no question about it. But is he guilty? No, he's still innocent. But also, it's looking like we might have to give him a pass on this one. I don't know. The next stream, guys, we are starting. Hold on here. The debate starts at. The debate starts. Dang, what time is it? It starts at 9 o'clock Eastern. So we're going to be doing that right away, chat. I'm going to actually direct you guys over there real quick here. But yes, we will stream snipe it. It starts at 8 o'clock Central and 9 o'clock Eastern. So just remember, guys, it's going to be interesting. So take care, everybody, and I will see you guys in a little while over on the debate stream. But good night, everybody. Take care. Hope to see you guys around.
Weapons, blacksmithing, and models of planes, esoteric works, and even some trains. Much merriment had while drinking White Claws, tips on hunting, and even talking the law. Whatever you do, just don't talk to cops, even when they nab you on illegal stops. Just 'cause you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. But please talk to a local attorney. Was that the fat guy Rick Hayden yelled at? Why, yes it was, he even knows he's fat. For all this fun and more, there's one place to go. Here on Sean Martin's Potential